Hello everyone, I am Nox and we are here playing Dragon Age Origins again, and oh gosh, what's wrong with our shadows? Those are some clunky shadows. Okay, I've never noticed this before. Let's just take some distance. So far everything seems to be working. Um Besides those shadows. I I don't know what's wrong with that. Oh, okay, maybe not everything is working. It gave a normal load screen. I did go back and buy real quick. I did go back and buy the Amulet of Cord just because I'm pretty sure that's what Leliana had before in my build. It sort of keeps enemies away. But yeah. Let's I'm just hoping this game is working. I don't know what's going on with my shadow. Maybe it will fix itself. Gather your party members for I'm so ready to leave Blithering, yes.
Bad dreams, huh?
Okay, it is working. Okay, so I didn't intentionally leave end the episode off outside of there because that cutscene, I actually forgot about the cutscene. But then I noticed it afterwards because like, oh, maybe I should leave, and I noticed that the cutscene happened. But all of this was a black mess like Lothering, and it's not. So it is working. It's a cool cutscene, I know, I'm like, but graphically I was more like, oh gosh, is my computer dying? It's working. I don't know what that lighting effect is going, but I'm pretty sure that's just normal Dragon Age Origins lighting effects. I'm just happy that my computer is not performing graphical seppuku again. But okay. Alrighty. So as I've mentioned before, dwarves don't really have dreams. So yeah, that would have been weird for Masinya. We're gonna go with it seems so real.
Well, it is real, sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
I forgot about that. Okay. The Archdemon. I feel like that one's kind of like, yeah. We're not. I feel like that's sort of self-explanatory. I think I did take that response the first time, but this time I think Masinya's just gonna sort of guess that was Earthamil? Is that a spoiler? I don't think that's a spoiler. It could be a spoiler. It's the Archdemon. Are these dragons? Oh gosh, Nox, we are just starting off. We are starting off great. This is top-notch quality work. Are these dreams going to happen a lot?
It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
I found that really cool. I totally forgot that we could talk. We had that that we could like intercept their communications and sort of have that convo with the Archdemon. I'm just saying, Masinya would probably have conversations with Archdemons. We'll get into that a bit more, but like, you know, she's not always a good person. No. Like, we're not. Thank you, Alistair. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for. To deliver unpleasant news and witty one-liners. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Okay. And we are saving. I thought Alistair had a quest for me for a second, and I was like, you're not supposed to have one. Okay, yeah. That makes a lot more sense. Because I was like, I don't remember this. Okay. Let us save because we are safe. Because I don't trust this game at all. Oh. Oh, okay, no. At first I thought it was glitchy textures. It's not. I am partially sleeping in the ground, but you know what? We're here and we're safe for now. So, this episode isn't going to be as exciting as the previous episodes were, just because we are at camp. And at camp, you can talk to your companions, and you can have a lot more conversations and a lot more in-depth, like, discussions and whatnot. So, yeah, we're going to be talking to our companions. And that's probably going to be, like, most of the episode is just me talking to my companions at camp. I know that's not the most, like, entertaining thing for some people, but that is what we're going to do. If it's really short, maybe I will do something else, but I think I'm just going to talk to my companions around camp. This is going to be the roleplay episode. It's a role-playing game. And maybe we can actually explore Masinya's character, because I haven't given that much about her. But anyways, I'm trying to think who we should talk to first. Like, I suppose I can just engage in convo with Alistair first. We will be doing a lot of quick saving though, because I don't want to accidentally drop a football.
What do you need?
Okay. Yeah, we were just talking about Duncan, so we want to talk about Duncan.
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
Oh, okay. He was like a father to you. I don't... We did just basically lose our father. Like, he didn't die. That we know. But he basically died. Like, we knew that he was sick. Yeah. He was like a father to you. I understand.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the blight and everything. I'm sorry.
No harm done, Alistair. Yeah, like, it's okay to mourn, and he's not like, during his mourning, he did anything really that drastic. Actually, I don't think we're going to do no harm done. I think there's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak
of. I think this one repeats the conversation, hopefully. Hopefully. What about the other Grey Wardens?
I don't know. I have no idea what the Grey Wardens do for their... when they fall in battle. Dwarves don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead?
We entomb our dead within the stone beneath our ties.
I heard about that, now that I think about it. Their spirits return to the rock, strengthening the foundation of the tide. It sounds so strange.
I think we'll actually say, no strangers in burning, you're honored to ashes.
I suppose you're right. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Did he mention high upper? Maybe he did mention high upper. I'm assuming that's where Duncan came from. Though, isn't he Ravani? I don't remember. Maybe I'll go to high upper with you when you go.
I'd like that. So would he, I think.
For approval? Okay. This is the game where we just quick save and just keep chatting away until you know our approval's high.
What do you need?
Or we do something stupid and we lose approval. Okay, I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
So, we have a number of options. We will be talking through all of them. Once again, this is just sort of like what I do. I don't know, I've never actually watched like a Dragon Age Let's Play series. So I don't really know if most people just skip this or not. I don't know. Tell me more about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Like, Masinya would know enough about them. She's a dwarf, but, you know, it is good to know more about the order that you're now the only one part of. Also, I just noticed her head just sort of goes like, and like, there's just, that is a solo. Okay. Just noticed that. I feel like we've already asked this one before, but I suppose we can ask again. Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Is there headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfells, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
Can I just say, like, I just want to be like, Barkspawn, just hush. I'm like, I'm trying to have a conversation here. Okay, so I do find Weishaupt Fortress to be very interesting, and I'm really interested in if we get to see it in Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which, oh my gosh, Dragon Age Dreadwolf, like, I'm praying that production's going well, because they just cut so many writers. Oof, it's rough. I feel like there's more options and I missed one. So what happens now that there's just two of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Will we need to start rebuilding the Order?
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
Great. Yeah, lyrium and stuff, magic's not gonna happen. Like, Masinya's a dwarf, but she can't really... I don't think she can really work lyrium like that. But maybe she could. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think she can. And like... Templars should not go anywhere near lyrium. I know this option's left. It will be left here forever because I don't take it, because it causes disapproval, so... It's just gonna be there forever.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
Okay, there are more options. How did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
His humor is amazing. Very funny.
I do my best. What can I say? Let's see, I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
You don't seem quite like the religious sort. Yeah.
You're telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's a lot. I can count pretty high. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
Why does the Grand Cleric want to keep you?
I wondered that myself. It's not as if she valued me highly. I think she just didn't want to give anything to the Grey Wardens, is all. The Chantry didn't lose much. And I think I can do more fighting the Blight anyhow, rather than sitting in a temple somewhere. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I would never... I wouldn't have.
I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't have brought him up. He was a good man. He was a good man.
He was. A good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
What? Did I somehow drop his approval just then? Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, I guess that was actually the right amount of approval game. I don't know. I was used to getting like more approval. I was like, oh my gosh, did I somehow take the wrong option? Can't always tell, but I know he said he didn't want to talk anymore, but Barkspawn, please, quiet. But this is a Dragon Age game, so we're just gonna keep pestering him.
What do you need?
And see, he doesn't know anymore. It's amazing.
Ask away.
Okay. What can a Templar do, exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
Which makes Alistair invaluable fighting emissaries. Have you hunted many mages? Actually. So, Templars use magic themselves.
You could call it that, sure. The Chantry doesn't look on it the same way, however, since really our talents only work on mages. Against a regular person, I'm just a guy in a metal suit.
Have you hunted any mages?
No, I never actually became a full Templar. Duncan recruited me before I took my vows. I was only present during one harrowing. The ritual that they test the mages with. It's not unlike our joining, really. And just as deadly. The girl they tested, she had a demon put inside her to see if she could resist. And she couldn't. We had to end it quickly. I have to say I didn't have much interest in becoming a Templar after that.
Understandably. Yeah, heroines are fun. Is it possible that others could learn such talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
Now, Masinya, in the back of her head, is totally like, yeah, that sounds like an excellent method of control. But she ain't gonna say it, because I'm pretty sure it gets me disapproval. We just gonna think it. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I said that the first time. I got disapproval. I know that, like, I have enough ways to just make up all of that disapproval in the long run. But I don't know if I want to handle it. Deal with the whole hassle of it. Because, you know, it can be a hassle sometimes trying to remember exactly, trying to, like, get all the resources to make them like you when you just know the questions that they like. And I could definitely believe it. Masinya would do the same. She was a dwarf noble. She was probably in on it. So you were addicted to this lyrium. This. I love the way that's said. It's almost like they don't know what lyrium is. She's a dwarf. She absolutely knows what lyrium is.
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective. Or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me.
Granted, that might have also got disapproval. Or there's just no approval. Maybe I'm just hunting for approval at this point. That's probably what's happening.
What do you need? Ask away.
Okay, so as you can see, he can now have the option to ask him if he can teach others to be a Templar.
I suppose I could. But I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word.
Now, obviously, he says this because he doesn't have enough of an approval rating with us, which, you know, once we get enough, we'll make him go back on his word. Very well. I'll respect your word. For now. For now.
Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
After all, we don't really need it. Like, we already have it unlocked for Masinya, if I'm correct. How would I even find which ones I have unlocked? I'm pretty sure we had it unlocked in the option to level up, so, like, we don't need it. And, yeah, but, like,
what do you need?
Masinya does, I don't know, have him tell her the secrets of it, probably.
Ask away.
That's worded. That could have been worded a lot better. Whatever. You said you were raised by Archdemon.
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
That would explain the smell. This might get disapproval. Oh, but we're going with it.
Well, it wasn't until I was 8 that I discovered you didn't have to lick yourself clean. Old habits die hard, you know.
Yeah, I imagine so. So does the Horde of Darkspawn, I'm told. Oh.
Point taken. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Archdemon wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
I don't know if that phrase was this funny to you guys, but that made my day. I will take if it gives me disapproval, I will take it. We ain't quick loading that one. But you blamed him then, I take it.
I was young and resentful and not very pious. Of course I blamed him. I remember screaming at him like a little child. Well, I was a child, so I doubt he was surprised. Archdemon eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Alistair, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
I forgot that she was Orlesia. Arlessa, whatever the heck her name is. I know they mentioned it earlier in the Chantry, someone did. I keep wanting the only name I can think of is Honora, and I know that's not her. Oh, that's gonna bother me. I could probably find it in one of the codexes. Okay. Wasn't it inappropriate for the Arl to raise an orphan?
Probably. It was just a kindness he did to a woman who had served him anyway. I didn't sleep on silk sheets in the keep or anything. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
You were young.
And raised my dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Kaelin's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Ooh, and we got approval from it and a codex update. I'm thinking I know what that codex update is. Oh no. I have unread codexes. We're just gonna ignore those for the time being. Oh, what is new? His mother was a serving girl who died. Oh, the Arl's is sold. I knew it had an O somewhere. Suspected the reason her husband took an interest in the welfare of the servant's child was that Alistair was Eamon's son. She insisted that the boy be sent away to Chantry. Damn it, that was not the codex entry I thought it was. Okay. Oh, how much does he like me now? Neutral. Okay. It's a 14 though, that's not too bad. I think that's all.
What do you need?
Dialogue.
Ask away.
Oh. It's not. Okay. Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Okay. We haven't seen the uniform yet. Oh, we have. No, wait, because in Oscar there are 2 Templars. It is a great uniform, and when I do find it, I will give it to Alistair. Legit, just because of this convo. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen you wearing it.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
This humor. See, I don't know. He doesn't like, if I remember, he doesn't like characters that are super blunt. So you say Templar out of sentiment?
Oh, sure. They said that all the self-flagellation would be unpleasant, but you know what they say. One man's pain. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Now I get into the mood where I just sort of contemplate which one will give me approval. Like, logically, rewording this. I'm intrigued. She's intrigued. Part of me wants to look it up, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say, I'm intrigued. You don't have to tell me. I'm intrigued. But I was intrigued.
Then let's just get back to what we were doing. No offense, but I'd really rather not discuss it.
Come on. How'd I get that? 1 minute. I'm not approving of that. I will reload and I won't hesitate. Okay, we are reloading because I thought I said something wrong. I thought it because I was like, yeah, no.
What do you need? Ask away.
Because I was hesitant about that option between the curious and and actually asking him. So 1 minute, I'll take all the same options. I'll just skip this.
It's not only.
Yeah, okay. So I was just overcomplicating these options. Can you stop cast water? I wouldn't have asked if I wasn't curious. Is how Masinya probably would have worded it instead.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al-Eamon had cast me off unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
What exactly about the training did you enjoy?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
Ooh, and there's more doubt. I did not know this. Ooh, okay. Sweet. So, I think the first time I said, no, we cannot say this one. We cannot, because will engage in a romance. Masinya's not going for that with Alistair. Her and Alistair, they are just friends. I remember this. No. Because this one is like okay, she's with the Grey Wardens, and it's the with you, and I was like, no, can't do that one. So, Masinya's home is still in her mind, Orzammar. Orzammar are still her people. She is still the defender of Orzammar. And really, it just comes down to she still throughout her story, will be trying to do the best for Orzammar. And still serve Orzammar, even if Orzammar doesn't acknowledge that. So, Orzammar is still my home. I miss her.
But it's not your home anymore, right? You can never go back for good. I think I understand how you feel. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
And we got +1 approval. Yeah. I'm just hunting for approval, but I do think I got a new entry actually for Alistair. No? Did my thing just lie to me? I pulled up the little like Dragon Age wiki. I think it just lied to me. Okay. That is for sure all that he has for us for now. So I guess we'll talk to Dog, because Dog's just being obnoxious over here.
Oh, why, you little...
I forgot all of his interactions with the companions. Forgot about that one. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, sorry for the audio jump, planes, cars, and stuff going by my home. Are you harassing my dog?
Me? Harassing your dog? I should say it's the other way round. Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
Well, he is a war dog. Okay, like, once again, I'm not a big animal person, so let's just say if the interactions seem weird, it's because I don't do animals. Well, he is a war dog.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me. I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
I think we were invisible earlier. I could see Masinya's sword earlier in the prior shot. It was just there. For a second I thought it was his sword, but I was like, wait a second. I think Masinya is in fact capable of invisibility. And we just don't know it yet. If you've had it and didn't know it, it was probably tasty. Masinya would totally feed Barkspawn human flesh to make him like some sort of evil Kokari tank machine. Like, she would. She just would.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Oh gosh. I honestly don't know which one Masinya would go for. He means well.
The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
I think you somehow. I don't know. I don't know which one to say. Okay, because low key, I'd probably be the Morrigan in a situation like this. I probably would. That dog is too smart for his own good.
He is certainly manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
You know, I love this option as well, but nah, Masinya's not backing away. She is gonna watch this.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
I love Sten. I forgot how much I liked Sten, and then once I re-met him, I was like, oh, it has been too long. Wait a second, does Barkspawn not have an interaction with Leliana? Because I know he has an interaction with, like, every other companion. Does Leliana not get an interaction with Barkspawn? Oh, that's just effed up. Okay. Trying to find a way through the earth, are we? It's going to take you some time, you know. Good luck with that, then. I do know that if you take him with you... Oh, did I move? Did he move? Okay. I do know that if you take him with you, he can actually, like, find treasure and whatnot, but... We're not really going to be taking him with us too often. Okay, so we have quests there and there. But we have more companions. I suppose I'll just keep talking around camp, and then I can go deal with those. I guess I'll do Leliana first, then Sten.
Yes?
I like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was someone like you doing in Lothring's chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
Tempting, but we'll go. This is the what Masinya would be curious to ask. And they don't teach you how to fight in the cloister, do they? Also, I feel like that's textures slightly off. I think we got some texture problems going on, but nothing too bad.
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
So your skills were learned before your time in the chantry.
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Deflective. Damn it, I know if I took the flirt option, it would have increased approval. There's more to Leliana than had. Oh, no. I feel like that's a bit spoilery. Okay, well. Oh, I just love when the game sort of does stuff like that. I'm not gonna.
Yes? Well, here I am.
Yeah, like, I don't think that was supposed to be there. I'll probably just skip that codex entry because it is kind of spoilery for Leliana. not the best placement of a codex. No, not at all. Okay. What was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Condescending? How so? I'd imagine that this sort of stuff evades Masinya because, you know, she... I don't know, I never got the sense that the stone... You could somehow find a way to make the stone condescending. Like, actually, I take that back. I could probably find a way, but I don't know. Never got the sense the dwarves... Well, their caste system, but... not in the same way that the Chantry was. That the Chantry can be condescending.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
I prefer your ideas to the ideas of the Chantry. Granted, Masinya doesn't know much about them, but she's like, you know, that sounds like a better version than theirs.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
Yeah, because Masinya doesn't believe in the Maker, but, you know, between the two, she does prefer that one. She still very much believes in the stone, and that basically she has been exorcised from it.
Yes? Well, here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
You dreamed of the Blight.
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
Oh, nah. And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
Like, Masinya would say neither of these because she don't believe in it. I suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a Blight to stop.
Well, I'm a Grey Warden because I got removed from my society. But sure, I did not mean to quick save right there. I meant to do a different save. Okay. Well, that's done.
Yes? Well, here I am.
Okay, so the only option we have is to ask about the tales, which can be pretty long, but like, I like them. I enjoy listening to them. Masinya would want to listen to them probably, so they are long though. Maybe I will leave those. I suppose we can leave those till later, because they can be pretty long. But let us go talk with Sten.
Why are we stopping?
That is a height difference. Okay. I think we should talk for a moment. Actually, we're working together. I think I should get to know you.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
Are you alright? You were in that cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
I've never seen a Canary before. Tell me more about your people.
No.
What?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
That's... I love Sten sometimes. I don't love dialogue with Sten. Doing this is like a game of walking on eggshells, and I don't like many of the options that you're given, but Sten's amazing. You said you were in the army.
I am.
What made you decide to become a soldier?
Decide. I am a Sten of the Beresad. I did not choose to be who I am any more than you did.
Have you ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, dwarf.
So you must know your way around a battlefield.
Some of them. They aren't all alike.
True. Oh, damn it.
As you wish.
Okay, so that did get... My god, that somehow got approval. Once again, trying to interact with Sten is like... It's a tricky thing.
Yes.
And I'm not good at it. I did not save.
As you wish.
We're gonna be quick save.
Yes.
And look, like, they gave 2 different versions. It's terrible. I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
What was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
What is an Arishok?
The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
So he's your king.
Kunari have no kings.
We're not gonna ask that one. I remember asking that one my first time. I don't think that one went well. Like, on the one hand, I am actually interested, but on the other hand, I'm like, it's a blight. it's kind of one of those situations like, why wouldn't he be interested in the Blight? So, on the one hand option, we might get good dialogue, lore, but on the other side, the option, like, we ain't gonna get shit. I really can't tell with Sten. So, I'm a bit torn on that one. Why does he? We're gonna try.
Why do you?
It's a threat to Orzammar. Actually, I'm a Grey Warden. It's my job.
Exactly. You don't ask, nor do I. The Arashok sends me and I go.
Okay. I'd assume you'd have to report back then. Actually, did you find the answer to his question?
A portion of it.
I'd assume you'd have to report back then. I'm curious about the answer, but Masinya's also thinking about this from like a tactical standpoint, probably. And is like, you know, he's probably not going to give me the answer. She's thinking of this from a very like point of view that like, not saying that they're two opposing armies, but kind of. And also just because I think this gets me disapproval. I'd assume you'd have to report back then.
Yes.
When are you going to do that?
Never. I cannot go home.
Now, though Masinya is curious, though Masinya is interested, she's not going to ask. Especially since, like, she wouldn't have wanted someone to ask her why she's no longer in Orzammar. So she's going to respect that. But you can stay with us. So, oh. I kind of like... I'd imagine that you'd probably say something of a combination of both. Also, can I really not ask him about the whole family slaughter situation? You know, I think she'd say, yeah, like a combination of these two. Because I've been trying to think about it. She is sorry for him. She understands that, but I'm sorry. She'd probably say something like, I'm sorry for that. You can stay with us. I don't know. It's probably better. I'm like, probably write out better, but, you know.
Thank you. Can we move on? We keep the darkspawn waiting. As you wish.
Oh, fuck. Shit, that was a lot of approval. What the hell? I think he has the most approval in my party. 21? Oh, Barkspawn. What the hell? Yeah, because no one else is even... Okay, he has a 15. Leliana's at an 8. Yeah, and Masinya... Morrigan was higher, but then I got a -3 reducted. Damn! Okay, well, I'm gonna quick save again.
Yes.
There are certain questions in this game, which, like, on the one hand, I do want to ask because I find them interesting, but on the other hand, I'm like, why would I ask that? I don't know.
I am hardly surprised. Very well. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on.
Great, okay. I am going to look up that one just to sort of see if it does lead anywhere interesting. It doesn't. Like, it gets me some approval. But, like... I suppose I'll take the approval. I am like an approval suppose, so... Yeah, what were you doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
Okay, I know this one gets me approval. I know that one gets me approval. But I don't think Masinya would actually say any. I know they both give me approval, but I don't think I would actually... Masinya would say any. She'd probably say... That's not what I meant.
It's what you asked.
And this is good because this allows her, Masinya, to figure out Sten better. And also be like, okay, we gotta word we gotta make our questions. Gotta word them much, much better.
Parshera, was there anything else?
No.
As you wish.
Now Masinya's like, okay, I figured you out. I will somehow. I'm still surprised I got 19 approval there. What the hell? Okay. And then way out in the distance, everlasting companion to talk to. I am recording, right? Okay, for a second I was like, I don't actually remember hitting record. We have Miss Morrigan way out here with a bunch of... Just... Hey Morrigan. Don't mind me. Is that Latin or Greek? I could just... That's actually Greek. I don't know if those are actual words, but those are Greek letters. Okay, that's interesting. Edgeny Knox might try to decipher that. Okay, interesting. Interesting. But anyways, we're not here to look at your vials of blood or anything. We're just here to talk, Morrigan.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
How did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Yeah, your mother has been doing this for a long time then.
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Do you spend a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
What do other animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
I don't think that clause is actually attached to that wooden post. I think it's just like... Yeah, ooh, that is... Oh, that is interesting hair. Go. What's happening with the game right now? Oh, it just shakes. Oh, it's scares me. Okay. Can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Now, but here's the question. Okay, because Masinya was intrigued about that because of the whole, like, she still thinks politically, and she's like, that would be a cool skill. Also, the fact that, they are being hunted right now. So she's like, you could shapeshift. That would probably be great. But Morrigan says that she can't turn to another human form because she is human. There's no point for that. But can Morrigan turn into, say, an elf or a dwarf because they are a different form? Or is it the same? Does the same logic apply? I don't know. It would be interesting because she would gain something from becoming an elf. Like she'd gain something from becoming a dwarf too, yeah. But as an elf, I'm kind of going into spoilery areas, so spoilery warning for Dragon Age Inquisition. But as an elf, she would be able to see the Alluvians differently. And we do know Morrigan's all about, like, the Alluvians and whatnot, so that would definitely be something that would be, beneficial for Morrigan. And, like, I suppose if she transformed into a dwarf, I don't know, would it, like, remove her magic, because dwarves don't have magic? Or is it only dwarves that are born without magic not have? I don't know. Dwarves are fascinating. I don't think dwarves get enough work put into them sometimes. I've never heard of magic like that before. Granted, Miss Senyo hasn't heard about much magic.
No, 'tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could, but as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
That's good. Such traditions need to be preserved. Masinya doesn't really care about apostates or that. Like, Masinya's already... She's not going to ask that. It's just like, yeah, anything's open to abuse. Power can just in general be abused. Any form. So, yeah. Masinya believes in preserving traditions.
I am surprised you think so. Still, 'tis a pleasant thing to hear.
Can anyone become a shape changer? And this is going into the whole specialization being.
Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
I think your abilities sound quite useful. Though I am tempted by this one as well. We'll go with this one, just because Masinya is probably like, she's, as we've seen with her banter with Alistair, she's usually not super serious all the time. I think that would just make you angry.
No doubt it would. But enough of such talk, let us proceed lest the dust gather on us.
Ooh, did I somehow hurt approval? I'm gonna check. Oh gosh, I feel like half this video is just me checking my approval. Okay, no, I didn't lose any approval. I know why that approval is different, because I think there's like a male exclusive flirt about it, and I was thinking about that one, and that gives you approval. So, because I was like, I remember that conversation giving a bit more approval.
What do you wish of me?
To take the hat that you're wearing just moments ago and just burn it. And that cloth behind you too. What is happening? It's this game.
If you must. I cannot teach you, no, but any other mages that cared to learn, yes, I could do that. Send whoever you wish my way, and I shall teach them what I can in the camp, provided they possess the will to even make the attempt.
Oh, Okay, so here's the funny thing. I was actually going to talk about how that is bugged, but then I forgot my approval isn't high with me. So basically, her teaching you the shapeshifter skill is highly bugged in this game. It's usually supposed to require her to be warm towards you, which is like approval of 25 something, I think. But she's bugged and she only gives it to you if she actually...
What do you wish of me?
Doesn't like you. It's a bug.
If you must.
Which I kind of forgot about. So, yeah, and that's why it's still here, because even though it should be flagged that we already learned that, whatever. I love this game and its bugs. Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You really had no trouble with them?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Flemeth used you as bait.
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
What exactly is an apostate?
You do not know? The Zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true, still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
I just love the way she says that. I agree. I think it's... Huh. Because, like, on the one hand, I do agree, like... I think she said agree, but I am just gonna slightly check which one gets more approval. Okay, it's not that much of a difference. I was gonna go with this one anyways. This one gives you a 2, this one just gives a 1, so, you know. If this gave like a 7, I don't know, I probably would. If I were a mage, I might think the same.
Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Maybe I should have gone with it too.
What do you wish of me? If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kokari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You could if you wanted to. Like, Masinya's alright with her asking questions.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
I do wish, just because of that little interaction where she talked about, like, asking questions, it would be fun if, like, you had more times where, like, companions ask you stuff. And you could do, like, character building. I don't know, it would be just nice if, like, you kind of flip the role sometimes. And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
That sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Touching like a handshake. So wait, by this, it does make me wonder, do dwarves not, like, have as many handshakes and stuff? Or is it just like, you know... Yeah, like, I assume dwarves would have handshakes too, right? Or do they not? Are dwarves, like... Dwarves not shake hands? Or is it just, like, weird phrasing with the game mechanics?
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely
Okay.
different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table.
Wait, did I
How
click
to
one?
bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Oh, damn it, I clicked 1. I meant to click 2 to ask her about the handshake. Am I really gonna reload for that? I might. Yeah, okay, I totally reloaded. I accidentally clicked 1. We are not doing that. We're doing touching like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Yeah, it was totally worth it. I love that one, just how much he hates handshakes. Well, I'm glad it worked out this way, at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
How do you say, like, I've been recording for a while. I don't know how much time has passed. Like, I don't know how much time it's going to take me to
What do you wish of me?
edit this video. Are you now... Have I increased your...
If you must.
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
Human?
Oh, she certainly was human. Once. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
Oh, no. Not yet. 1 minute. Because you don't know this tale yet. We are quick loading. Unfortunately, we can't quick load in dialogue. We are quick loading because I know Leliana has that story. Okay. No. We are not asking her that. We are going back and we are talking to Leliana. And she has that story.
Yes? Well, here I am.
You are a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Like, she has so many of them, and I love them all. I really do. But I don't think I'll be doing them just because this video is already going to be so long as it is. We're not going to be doing them in this video. I'll probably find another time to do them.
Which one?
But no, you...
It will come to you soon, I'm sure.
Do you really not have
Which
the story of Flemeth?
It will come to you soon, I'm sure.
No. Do you know any Ferelden legends? That...
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Yes! I was like, no, I remember having this conversation with you. I met Flemeth. I don't know how we would engage with this. Flemeth? I think Masinya would just kind of be like, yeah, I've heard of Flemeth.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Flemeth was once beautiful.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
Okay, so I just realized that Flemeth, for some reason, I always thought that like Flemeth predated the Chantry. But Conobar obviously was afraid that she would be taken, so obviously she doesn't. Yeah, we'll go with this. Ooh, the plot thickens.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Like, I'm telling you, these stories are great. And each one gets approval with her, so that's awesome. Okay, now we rush back to Morrigan. That way we can just do a nice little compare and contrast.
What do you wish of me? If you must.
Actually, I haven't even asked her something personal yet. Oh my gosh.
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be? Oh, she certainly was human. Once. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the Chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
And then now we also have a difference, because we just got the Orlesian Ferelden version of it. This is the Chastened version. So, we're getting two different perspectives of the story. I'm more interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Just exactly how long ago was this?
Many centuries, before this land was even named Ferelden. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conobar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conobar the jealous lord, who looked on from afar. Lord Conobar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
Okay, first off, oof. Second, I thought that like Flemeth being Chantry era was weird. I was like, I remember her being older, predating. Hell, Flemeth is like ancient. He sold his wife to another man. Actually, Flemeth must have been angry.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conobar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
I don't think Masinya would know yet the difference between spirits and demons. I don't think we've read anything yet. So she truly loved Osen.
That was not the point. Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see, chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Which she never invaded, or he never defeated her.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Interesting. Do you believe her version? Oh, I'm so afraid that, like, I'm gonna somehow get locked out from options.
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
How is it exact? Oh. I was going to actually ask this one. Why would you refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
How is it that Flemeth has survived for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Aren't abominations usually insane horrors? Masinya probably would have heard of stories.
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect, even to her.
An interesting story. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
And I do like this option because it does allow you to do a little bit of the barest bit of character development. It's like the barest. It's a crumb, a measle of character development. But Masinya's mother did die. She died long ago. In my headcanon, it's shortly after Balin's birth. Or possibly while giving birth to Balin.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
No, but her mother died. Masinya didn't know her mother that well. Instead, this is actually a great segue that I did not intend. Bit of Masinya's backstory. Take that. Thank you. Masinya... Is she actually on the ground? She is. Masinya, her mother died shortly. Not too long into her life. Because she was like... Masinya's probably only like 20-something. But, so she didn't really know her mother that well. Instead, she interacted a lot with her grandmother, who, you know, armor we wore at the beginning of the game. And her grandmother was actually part of House. Is it Ashteth? Oh no. I've tried to remember this. I think it's House Ashteth, which is the house that actually the Silent Sisters. Damn it, I forgot their names. The mute warriors of Dwarven culture. They come from this house Ashteth. Her grandmother, I think, might have been one. She didn't have a ton. She cut it out. And Masinya learned sign language to talk with her grandmother. And they would... Her grandmother sort of raised Masinya. And they sort of, plotted, her grandmother kind of intended for Masinya. She was the one that put seeds of becoming Queen of Orzammar into Masinya's mind. So yeah, that's a bit of little lore about our girl Masinya here. Just her talking with her grandma in the corner, just talking in sign language with her grandma in the corner. And her grandma's would have been awesome, obviously.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to discuss something personal.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Oh, no, we're not asking that. that gets disapproval. Okay, I thought we had a different option. Okay, so that's all the companion talk that we have. I will find good points to do story time with Leliana. But first off...
It's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodahn at your service once again. I saw your camp and remembered the kind offer that you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
I love Bodahn and Fedek. Not Bodahn and Fedek. Bodahn, Fedek, and Sandal. You're free to stay. Nah, you could totally join us. Have you been following us?
Following you? I'm not even certain where you're going, my friend. And quite frankly, it's none of my business. Trust me when I say that my encountering you here was serendipity and nothing more. I travel a lot, so I'm bound to meet everyone on the road eventually. If you prefer, I'll take my boy and be on my way. But regretfully, you're the safest spot on this road, without a doubt.
You're free to say.
Wonderful. Thank the kind lady, won't you, boy?
Thank you, kind lady.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Sweet. Can we do enchantments?
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
I want some enchanting done.
Enchantment!
I don't know if I can. I can enchant. Who is wielding Oathkeeper? No one is yet. I don't think anyone is. Let's slap that journeyman lightning. So wait, who is wielding Oathkeeper? No one. Oh gosh, I don't even know when I got Oathkeeper. When did I get Oathkeeper? I feel like that just appeared in my inventory. I guess since we are doing like, I'll just move around the. He can wear. Oh, that is so awesome. Sure, he doesn't get the set boost anymore, but the armor alone. I guess I'll keep him in. It's just so much better. It's just so much better. Okay. And finally, say goodbye to that stupid. Granted, this one's not better, but. Oh, but it gives us 3D. Damn it. I guess it stays for now. Where am I going? Where is Sten? Havard's Aegis. What was that? We have unlocked Blood Dragon Plate. Oh, it's beautiful. Finally. This is like our armor for so much of the game. Like, yes, I do love the look of this. I do dig it, but yes, we can finally start buying the rest of the suit, which is going to be so expensive. Okay. One day. Okay.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me.
Oh, we can try this. So what's your story exactly?
Well, if you're really interested, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. I'm originally from Orzammar, just as you are, I suspect. You don't have the look of a surface dwarf about you. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
Why did you leave, then?
One day, a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of bracers I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
And did you steal them?
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost tides, they're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure, something worth a little gold.
I see.
The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's bracers. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
And now, here you are. Actually, you're quite lucky to have done so well.
I thank the stone every single day. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
You didn't mention your son in your tale.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back at Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here, I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
That was... so you got a free helper?
Better than him living in mud and hiding from darkspawn and deepstalkers, isn't it? I was glad to take him in. It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
Yeah, Bodahn's a good guy. He's a bit shisty, but he's a good guy. But where do these goods come from? Not the deep roads, I assume.
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the Lost Tides, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the darkspawn coming.
So, like, with Masinya, like, stealing from the Lost Tides. Once again, it kind of comes down to the thing that, like, as long as it's not an Aeducan Lost Tide, probably like an Ashteth Lost Tide, she doesn't really mind. she's but I do love calling him an opportunistic scoundrel. Okay, because they mean it more in like a less a judgmental way. I'm betting it's going to come off in a judgmental way, but more as a opportunistic scoundrel, like a shake of the head.
Don't get all indignant with me. I hate the darkspawn as much as anyone. People flee from the blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
Everyone has to make a living somehow.
That's what I tell myself, too. Ah, these are dark times indeed. Dark times, my friend.
Let me see your wares, Bodahn.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Okay, so, first off, the first thing we gotta buy... Oh, never mind. Shit. Well, now I'm really hoping I remember to get, to buy that, what was it? The backpacks back in Ostigard. You could have bought 2. I only bought 1. Well, damn. I suppose I don't need those trap triggers. Oh yes, we have all of those. Like, I know exactly who they go to, but I kind of want to do it naturally. I don't remember which gems I need. I have so many of them, but I don't remember which ones are needed. Greenstones aren't needed, right? I don't recall them being needed. I suppose I could buy the rest of my outfit. Like, yes, I need the money. I need the storage space, but I also need the armor. It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm telling you guys. It's worth it because look at how cool. We now got, like, her armor. Like, we wear this armor for so long in the game. This is so much earlier than usual. Granted, we're also broke now, but, like, you know, that's okay. I will give you the amulet core. And you know, I do know, like, just logically what items you liked, because you... I'm a quick save just in case, but I'm assuming the bronze on Andraste is supposed to be given to Leliana. I would be shocked if it wasn't. Where'd it go? Oh, okay.
That's a wonderful thought.
Yeah, we
I don't
just
know what to say.
boosted her thing. So that's how gifts work. I know where the rest of the gifts go to, but like, I'm gonna try and just do it like naturally in this one. Naturally figure out when to give them out. I don't know. I'll try. I'll try my best. Okay, and with that, we have one more person to go. Okay. Levi Dryden. I kind of forgot about you.
You're a hard woman to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levi Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader?
Duncan never mentioned you. Actually, you know Duncan.
Oh yes, for years. Considered him a friend, I did. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
How did you know Duncan?
It's a bit of a tale, that is. But I'm the one who brought the Grey Wardens back to Ferelden. Well, I was one of the ones. There were a lot of us. Maker's breath, I'm a bit nervous. Honoured to be here, really.
Go ahead.
After King Marek freed us from the Orlesians, the Grey Wardens begged the King's permission to come into Ferelden, some sort of internal business. Me and a mess of other Warden sympathisers spoke on behalf of your order. Tan Loghain was very much against letting Orlesian Wardens in the kingdom. But Marek, Andraste, bless him, was a fair-minded monarch and he let them in. So that's why I was there when the Wardens and their leader, Genevieve, presented herself to the King. The first Wardens in Ferelden in over a century. Proudest day of my life, that was. Duncan was a bit of a scamp back then. We were of an age and struck up a friendship. The King himself went with the Wardens on their mysterious business. When he returned, he rescinded King Ardlan's decree, and the Wardens came back to Ferelden for good.
I'm pretty sure that's actually the basis of one of the books. I just don't know which one it is. Why were the Grey Wardens cast out by Arlen?
People say it's because the Wardens have become terribly unpopular. Just soaking up tires and not doing a bleeding thing for the kingdom. I say that's bollocks, as recent events have shown.
And Marek rescinded the decree just like that.
Marek was a bit of a visionary. A powerful mind, that one. In his travels with the Wardens, he must have seen how important their cause was, and been moved by it.
Yeah, we doubt that's the full story, but I thank you for your part in bringing the Grey Wardens here.
Oh, his stomach's all aflutter. You're welcome.
Now, what promise did Duncan make to you?
My family, well, past a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arlen banished the Wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
What happened next?
Hard to say. After King Arlen died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one, and our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
I'm surprised. Oh, no, she's not surprised. Masinya's kept the Aeducan name. So what favor did you ask of Duncan?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Levi Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honor.
Couldn't you just go there by yourself?
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Ireland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honor.
Why didn't Duncan help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new wardens and meeting with good King Caelan. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance.
Yeah, I think Masinya knows what he's asking for. Your family's faith will be rewarded. I will help you.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
The history of the Drydens. Levi Dryden. Okay, oh, he's just gone like that. Okay, so we did get some journal entries, but like, nope. Wait, oh, Sophia's down there. But like, we got some journal entries. We'll probably read those in the next episode because I don't know how long this video is, but I know I've been recording for a while, so I'm gonna call the episode there. And yeah, I'll see y'all guys next week, which is like, oh, when's the next upload supposed to be? I don't remember the date. I did check, but I'll see you guys then, just because it's been a bit of a long episode. So yeah, see you guys then, and if you enjoyed this video, do leave a like, maybe leave a comment down below about like your character in this game. What is your like go-to hero for Rogue and Grey Warden? I should usually ask these questions before the end of the episode, but I think about them at the end. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.